Hi, my name is Dee and I want to show you a little tutorial of how I did my Morphlapse. First of all, sorry for my English. I'm not native English speaking. I'm from Germany. So I try to do my best that the important parts will be understandable for everyone or as easy as possible. So also my screen recordings will be in German, but I try to translate the needed words or the needed parts for this one.
Okay, let's start this. The good thing about Litchi is we can do all this before we connect to our drone or before we are arrived at our location. In my case, I use this building in Germany, and I don't know where, but I think this parking lot should be a good start for a drone. So I set my first start here. What you can do in the first point is that you use the high. This will be your default high. In this case, I think 50 meters, 60 meters should be okay. And if you set in speed, it will be the same speed for all the waypoints. So I use 12 or 11 kilometers per hour. So I can exit this first point and start adding the next point. You can see he's drawn the line by itself. There's no need to connect them, and just tap around what you wanted to capture. You can see all these waypoints have the same high at the moment. You can align them by pushing on the pin and go a little bit higher with this one. What we need to have is an exact shot every time we do this. So we need to add a needle for the point of interest. In this case, you can find this blue pin on the right top, and I set it in the middle of this building. What you can see is now that all these arrows of the drone or of the Litchi camera looking to this needle. That means the drone is rotating by itself and points the camera all time on this target. You can also add a second needle and give this waypoint another point of interest. So between point 7 and point 8, the drone will start rotating on pin 2, point of interest 2.
These are basic settings. You probably have to do this 7 or 8 times like me before I got my final choice for my footage. You will have to align the pin for the point of interest, or you will go higher or lower with the route because you only see a parking lot or just a tree. It clearly depends on the object you're filming, so you should give it more than one try to find the correct settings and to be okay with your footage. I'm pretty sure this isn't the only Litchi waypoint tutorial on the internet, so if something is missing, I'm sorry, you have more options. You can check YouTube for Litchi waypoint tutorials, or write me a comment. I will try to answer all of your questions in this case. Further, I want to give you maybe some good advices for your first shots or for the first season you try to capture. The first one is try to put this speed as low as you can afford, because it's important to have a clear and smooth shot, and if you go too fast, maybe Litchi is rotating your drone not in a smooth way. So try to hold the speed as low as you can afford it. My second advice for you is try to do your shots at the same daytime. So when you do a shot in the summer and you do a shot in the winter, the shadows of your objects will not match probably. So try to bring this as nearly as your footage before, or as your season footage from the winter or from the summer before, as you can. And the third thing is try to do more shots, because maybe the one time will be a little flicker or a little jello and you won't see it on your iPad or on your phone because it's too small. So give it a try, maybe 2 or 3 times should be a good choice. And my last good advice is to capture your root in 2 different ways with the brightness. First shot should be taken with an automatic brightness, and one should be with a fixed brightness, so you can check on the computer if there's any problems with shadows or extremely darkened places. So let's switch to our final cut composition. I've already inserted the media inside my project. What I do now is I'm searching for a perfect start of this footage. So it is easier when you find one point in your footage where the drone does exactly the same start. This is what I do here. I want to take this part of my footage to combine with the winter shot. So this should be in good length, and the same is now done with the winter shot. This is the point where my drone starts to the right roll. So this should be nearly the same as my other footage. Now I put it back. So normally those both should be matched now as good as they can. Now I have to check this, and I use a trick for this, and it's by decreasing the alpha, so I can see the video in the background and I can see the winter shot in the foreground. So what you can see here is it does not match very good at some points, and some points fit like this really perfect. And in this case I do an easy start for you. I try to use this one as my fade over. So I cut the first part out. And we see the part where it fits is not very long, so we have to find the perfect match in this case. What I do now is align the foreground footage, the winter footage, by rotating it, and that's not that easy, I'm sorry. Sometimes you have to do this, rotating and scaling, and put it back in or put it in the right way, or a little bit up or a little bit down, for a perfect or nearly perfect match. I'm pretty sure it's not possible to get exactly the same video 2 times. You always will have to compare them as good as you can, and trick a little bit with your by scaling or by rotating, and by putting it a little bit left or putting it a little bit right. Right now You can see this. This is a little slow motion. Try to compare every frame, and we're nearly at the window shot. So now the window starts, and the entry of the scene looks good. So the building in the foreground is nearly in the same position. Buildings in the background are difficult to match, and I think you won't see it. Normally the person who's watching this video looks at the foreground, and in this case this is the building on the in the front side. So you can use keyframes for fade in and fade out. Start with 0% clear. Go through your footage. When it starts to mismatch, better be at 100% at your keyframe. So you have possible the longest match. This is when you compare keyframe per keyframe, and when you play it in real time, it looks good. For that little time, it is okay. There's you can do this better. This is no problem. You need time. This is clear, but the basic of this technique should be clear. It's a simple thing. You need two videos, or two places in two videos that match as good as they can. And this is where the magic starts. And this is everything about this. So what you do at the end, or what I did, because I didn't know it better, is I exported the footage as it is right now and re-imported it and cut it, because I had to resize all of the footage to remove the frame at the side, because at the moment you will see that there are two overlaying videos, and you may have to make it a little bit bigger to remove those frames on the at the side. So if I could give you another good advice, try to shoot the footage in 4 or 3K, so you have most of the resolution is useful for this stuff. So when you crop or resize it, you won't lose too much quality. This was very simple, and of course my first tutorial, so I'm very sorry if it's not that good. If you have questions, please ask me. I try to help, and I'm sure everybody of you could do this a lot more better. I like to see, I'm looking forward to see what you do with your footage, and I hope you like this a little bit, or could help you a little bit to do nearly the same or better. And yeah, see ya, leave me a comment. Bye bye.